Kudos. Pay attention a little bit here, bro. Alright, but yeah, it was a really good game number 1 for Invictus. We're going to have to see if Green Fox, the aspiring pro team, what can they do up against a very practiced and coordinated game, very practiced and coordinated AT, because, AT, very famous for their Pharrellin lore, but this is the alternate team. Either way, they've been around for a while. We've actually covered them in our weekly casts a few times, and, all around a very strong team.
Yeah, Victor's showing them they have had the camaraderie together, and they have had all that communication to really win out games, and they just showed it in that first game. We'll see in the second game if Green Fox can go tie it up and make it go to a third, or will Invictus just, hold off, eke that win, or demonstrably just show some dominance yet again. We'll see. We're seeing the bans coming out right now. Olaf, Kale, Lux, not gonna be surprised if it's Elise ban. Trundle banned out. Really interesting coming from Invictus.
I heard that at one point Trundle was sleeper OP. I think that was actually out of CLG, so maybe Invictus knows what's up. Maybe they've done a little bit of research, like via Law King or something, against the Green Fox guys, because they would have their summoners all kind of pasted there into the Alienware system. So hey, maybe it's something they don't want to deal with. Maybe they got a comp for this. Maybe that sleeper OP has actually just been realized. We're gonna see him out. But Olaf, Kale, Sona, not really too surprising about the first two, but the Sona seems more of a reaction ban.
Yeah, the Sona pretty much is demonstrably destroyed the Graves pretty much at that bottom lane, especially with Lulu trying to actually be a defensive Lulu, which is not what you want any Lulu player to kind of have. Lulu in general, as a support, you want to have that aggressiveness. You want to have that shield with help picks and go their lands onto the AD carrier or such. And unfortunately, Sona just played a better poke game than what Lulu could have brought. And we're going to see that as a ban. Kha'Zix's being banned up for Invictus, so I guess they don't really care about the Orianna, and they're just going to try to own it up yet again.
Yeah, I guess Kha'Zix's mid is just something that neither team really wants to deal with, because I think they've both now actually banned out Kha'Zix. But, hey, Elise first pick, not really too much of a surprise. We are back a few patches where Elise, Warmogs, Olafs, and Nunus were still kind of the big flavors of everything. But hey, Invictus saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Varus going to be their first pickup for a major role, and he's going to have to see what he can deal up against possibly a Kate.
It's interesting they're going to be pairing that up with a Lulu. Lulu on top of a Varus as an ADC kind of combo. Interesting enough that it does work out really well. You have a lot of poke and you still have burst with rain arrows. And that's really important to conserve and engage out the right times for that 1 to level 3 engage. Especially with Invictus showing that they are pretty aggressive in the early game. I wouldn't be surprised if they do something really tricky for that, and wow, we see a Karma locked in automatically from Burbo King.
Karma, not somebody we see a lot of, but I think it was even at the LCS qualifiers. I think we had a Karma do extremely well.
Also IPL 5. No, actually, whatever Singapore Sentinels actually came in from the overseas and tried out for over in the NA side. Played Karma mid, did okay, pretty well. I'm pretty sure it's going to be either Karma mid, or it could be a support Karma, and it could be Lulu mid, which would be ridiculously good too. But all the plays right there, and then on top of that, Zerkui, is he actually going to be locking in that Ari? That means Karma's going to be what? Ooh, this is going to be interesting from Invictus.
Could very well be a Karma jungle. But it's funny you bring up the point of Lulu mid, because I was watching, who was that? I think I was watching Wings of Death, and he was up against a Lulu mid and getting his ass kicked. It's like a Teemo mid these days, It's a Lulu mid, those Yordles, throwing a Rumble in there. We saw a Heimerdinger earlier as well, and what can you do? And if we are going to go with the Diana, I could definitely see that Lulu mid happening.
Yeah, because the damage output that Diana can't do in that beginning stage between levels 1 to 4, it's just very tough. And yeah, either all three of them, technically more so Lulu or Karma, would do so well against this Diana. And Diana's didn't locked in. It's interesting. The teleport or the summer spells might be a tell of where Raider X might go. And Rock Lee going to be rocking out with the J4. Probably going to be rocking the Chinese skin. Which is really good.
Irelia just automatically locked in. All right, so I'm going to maintain if Karma does go to the Bro King, it will be a jungle Karma, and we're going to see more of a typical Dupli back in the mid, rarely top. And it does look like no more trades are coming out. So yeah, you can probably assume that Bro going to be jungling that Karma, and we're going to have to see what he can do with that. I mean, last time we saw the Volibear, it was very eccentric, very rare to see a Volibear these days, but hey, he did an extremely good job with it, and maybe atypical junglers is really kind of like his thing, you know? You don't practice against them, you don't really think about them, but then all of a sudden, bam, smackdown, in your face, and he did a good job, so we're going to have to keep an eye on him. Now, other side, does look like Rock Lee is going to keep that Jarvan, and that means we are going to have that Caitlyn Nunu bot lane. So not only did Elise make it through, but Nunu going back with the Caitlyn, back to their powerhouse bottom. Going to have to see what this game is going to be bringing to light, because game number 2, this is all on the line here for Green Fox. They need to win this in order to force a game number 3 up against AT Invictus, get that bigger slice of the pie. But either way, both teams are going home with cash, and it's a great stepping stone for Green Fox nonetheless.
Yep, Invictus is going to be showing some pretty interesting strats over there. I did kind of check over the runes right quickly for the Karma. I'll go say that a little bit later, but it's not a surprise to actually start out that way. Really quickly also as well, Karma ganks, all dependent on the Spirit Bun, but it's pretty much dependent on the lane. I mean, if Lulu can get a Glitter Lance, if Aurelia can get a stun, or if Ari can get a charm, those 3 things actually have to happen before a Karma gank can actually be really successful, because it is all dependent on the champion. So we'll see what'll happen for Bobo King. Could be just farming up, and if he does go for an invade against a J4, it could be very deadly.
Deadly is definitely the word. Look at this team: Varus, Karma, Lulu, Aurelia, Ari. Like, it's pretty much the exact same team as we saw last round, just without a Volibear. That's what it is. And again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now again, you know, Lulu was on the opposite team this round, so you know, Sona did a really good job of being you know, a bit more ballsy, a bit more pokey in her last round. Just need to make sure overlay is good. It does look like it is good, and you know, we're thinking of big things. But Caitlyn Nunu, very safe bottom lane. If they can maintain against all that poke, you know, we could be seeing some good things.
Yeah, hopefully. It's especially the poke that's going to be coming out. It's going to be very detrimental, especially since Caitlyn Nunu, not a sustain lane. You don't have any heals or anything coming out for each other. So Kudos and Nunu are just going to have to rocket around, maybe just heal for each other if they need to. But if they fall behind early in that lane, Caitlyn is just going to do pretty much nothing for this game. So they really need to secure this bot lane. They really need to secure this mid lane.
And right now it does look like AT is trying to secure an invade. They did get up a ward there on top of the hills. They will be able to track some of these jungle movements in and around the place. But Rock Lee, he's kind of just camping out here by his blue. Unfortunately, it looks like we were able to get a ward into the blue as well. So Invictus is going to know where that jungler is pretty much at all times for those first few minutes into the round. And now they have backed off. So no invade for them, but they will be able to keep track of progress there of Rock Lee.
It's going to be interesting to see where they're going to go starting taking aggression, because especially with these 2 wards that you see from the team of Invictus, they're going to be really, really knowledgeable of where Rock Lee is going to be. So, Rock Lee, are you going to go make the plays and try to take over the red buff really early? That would be my counter take, because you already know that the site, it's all there. You can't really do anything else about that. And I wouldn't want to be walking in my own jungle knowing that they know where I am exactly.
So Bro King's going to start off with that red, and we've already now cleared out the wolves here for our ADC carry bottom. So they're going to have a little bit of an advantage when it comes to getting that level 2 just that much quicker. Bro is going to be able to pick up, is this smiteless? No, he already used smite, I guess, on the big wraith. And yeah, we are going to get that blue, and it will be totally... Now see, we can see him immediately going top, Rock Lee. So this means that Aurelia will be in full command and should be able to defeat this, assuming she was paying attention.
Rock Lee could go in for a good gank. At least just needs to get a cocoon onto it and could go for this. Misses the cocoon, now really in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, but Equilibrium Strike right on over to him, right under that tower. It's fine. The Demacian standard can go down. She's okay with that, but once again, like, she knew he was there. Equilibrium Strike is able just to get her out of that danger, and you know, no fuss, no muss. At the same time, we do got some pings coming in mid. Bro maybe going to be looking for a kill here on top of Raider. Dupli here, you know, they're doing all right. They're just going back and forth. Here comes the Bro! And Red Buff on top of things. Doesn't really look like he's going to be put out too much damage. Missing out that charm is probably going to be very key to the survival here of Raider. But junglers have making themselves known in all the lanes. My big question is, how will Caitlyn and Nunu bot lane be able to handle all this?
It's not looking too well. 16-10 on the CS score right now. They're bringing some poke and getting some glitter lances. Kudos now down to 50% health. Just a lot of damage to put, and just all the poke coming out from Invictus yet again. Circury doing a really good job with Nico's providing there.
No, it's the Bro. Once again, just they knew where the Rock Lee was, and Bro looking for that first blood. Unfortunately, does get ambushed by the ADC combo and walks out of it alive. Flash and barrier now used on Kudos as well. One more glitter lance could have been it, throwing out the Piltover as well. Raider now going to be joining the party. I think he actually flashed over the wall. No, he didn't. He just walked over it, but Exhaust forcing out the flash there from Nico, and the first blood will go to Lulu, and the support of 18 Invictus once again picking up the first, and Dupli able to pick up the second, and this all started because they knew exactly where Rock Lee was.
It's just unfortunate they play in the same game, and now they're going to even push up this tower really fast. It could take it down really quickly. The Karma does have some attack speed runes, has attack damage as well, so not surprising over there. Actually, no. Now 37 AP, probably not the take, but very, very great job by Nikos and Circury. Pretty much the whole team Invictus responding to that bot lane invade.
Well, they're going to leave it alive for now. I guess they don't want to quite end the laning phase yet. But while all that was going on, Rarely and Lureboy, they were just top lane. And they're pretty much just tied up, 18-18. No fuss, no muss. They're just kind of chilling it around there. Raider, lol, he's going to go back. And Raider actually still has that flash, has a teleport as well. I'm a little curious that he walked down instead of teleported into the fight. If he had teleported into the fight, you know, even seconds earlier, might have been the difference between getting that kill on top of Bro or Lulu instead of just having them walk away out of that one. But you saw the way they were juggling their hit points, going in, coming out, just rotating out that closest target. And again, just AT is a team that has been around. They have very solid mechanics, and you know, this is something that Green Fox has to overcome.
Yep, and we'll see what Green Fox can do, especially with the ward advantage at the early game. Not so much now, but Rock Lee now is going to have some time. He's going to try to get this lane gank on this Varus, and it's especially the good thing if they can actually get a good gank for Green Fox, but we'll see if this is actually going to come into fruition, where I think Rock Lee won't hit a wall, per se, onto Nikos.
Now we do have the gank coming in. It is not warded, so they do not know that Rock Lee is there. Vision is not their friend right now, but the creep wave is pushing up. That's not going to be in favor here of Rock Lee. He's just kind of splitting out the experience right now. But here comes Lulu, and that's going to be right beside him. They go for the kill on top of Kudos. Does not look like they're able to get it. Here comes the teleport as well, as down goes Nikos. And who was the teleport? The teleport was supposed to be Raider, but I guess he got charmed out of it. Dupli, yep, charm on cooldown. So we're not going to have Diana come down there, but hey, they got the kill on top of Varus and already in a better position than they were last game.
Yeah, I don't know why Raider actually called for that teleport down there, especially since the kill was going to be secured. Rock Lee had a great gank and had the great presence to actually do something about that. And a big difference from the first game to second game, Rock Lee actually got into bottom lane, which was really important for Green Fox to stem some of this bleeding for Invictus.
Now here goes the ultimate, the Spirit Fire Rush coming out from Dupli. We also have the shield combo coming out from Bro, but it's not going to be enough. However, Karma will be able to pick up the kill. Now one-on-one against Rock Lee. He is a little bit too hurt, I think, to actually fight this out. And it does look like that might be the end of that fight. So a little bit of tower pressure gets denied by that standard. Bottom lane, however, we do got the flashing hit points. Kudos not looking so good, but we did get an exhaust out on top of him. We don't have that flash ready to go. Will Caitlyn be able to outrun an arrow? We don't actually have an arrow being queued up at all. Nico thought maybe he could just catch up to him, but could not. Kodriano, however, oh, there goes the tower, so they're going to be able to chase right through it. Kodriano making the break for it. That unnerved Blood Boil, friends of the bottom lane, as both of them are going to get out with the skin of their teeth.
Really great take for Caitlyn right there, just to do some denial. I mean, also really predicated because Rocket League burned out the flash from Nikos in the early go, so I mean, that's all good and well, but the tower still went down for Invictus. They're going to have so much more pressure on this bottom lane, and they could take an early dragon if they really wanted to for Invictus.
And we do got the pings up top. Once again, the double equilibrium getting rarely into range, but no stun coming out of that. So Bro just kind of going to be hanging out this top lane, trying to put some pressure up here, maybe try to attract a Jarvan or two, but at the very least, they're going to start chunking down the tower.
Yeah, they're going to probably bring it down to about 75% out there. Should back away just a little bit. If anything, I would say really, if she really wants to farm up even more, although she is 55 to 46 on the CS score, we can switch over the bottom lane with the top lane and just kind of rock it from there. But, I mean, Rarely's in a good place. The team of Invictus is in a good place. We'll see what Green Flax can do to counteract this.
No, Lure Boy looks like he's going to be, fending off the push. Still trying to farm under tower. He is down in the creeps, as you did mention, but at the same time, he's not that far down. It's only about, it's less than a, well, okay, he's caught up pretty decently. So, yeah, it's about a creep wave. I mean, that's hardly huge. We've seen much worse. But bottom lane, yeah, as you can see, this is the exact reason why we had Blood Boil nerfed. We can just kind of hang out in the back, be a mobile ward for Kodriano, and just give Blood Boil here to Kudos. And they've been actually, neck and neck with their creep score as well.
Yeah, this is actually a better take for the team. It's just because the pressure that J4 actually brought in the beginning really stemmed the bleeding for the spot lane. Now Karma coming in from bot, we'll see what'll happen in this little second, because they might have an inkling that Karma's down here, and we do see J4 coming around from the bottom lane as well. So might see a counter gank coming into play for Burbo King.
Oh, who's gonna die up top? Rarely or Lure Boy? Oh, does not look like either of them, actually. But a big creep wave as Lure Boy has to back off out of that fight. Lots of summoners used right there. Looking for the shot on top of Kudos. We are able to get it. Here comes Bro as well, forcing out the flash. Does look like actually Raider got the kill top with the help of Diana. Raider is Diana, so Elise got the kill up top, so good end to that fight. But Sirikoi and this bottom lane trio not able to take down Caitlyn yet again. Gotta be frustrating for them.
Victus had a little bit of miscue over there at top lane, especially for that flash in, trying to get a kill until Elise, just because they knew Raider did teleport over in top lane. And this teleport that's actually coming up from Diana, the first one wasn't used pretty well, but that second one actually going to stem the bleeding for this top lane, and on top of that, gives the extra kill to Raider, which is also going to pressure this lane. A big thing about Victus Gaming with this mid lane, they really need to push up this mid lane to actually get away from all that.
Well, J4 is going to Demacia right into everything. He does have a Nunu at his back. Here comes the Caitlyn as well, but the wild growth was enough to just slow down the Rock Lee and speed up Nikos, as Lulu going to be able to take home a kill out of that one. So maybe should have waited a little bit more for Kudos to get back into lane, but maybe a little bit of a miscommunication, maybe a bad call in that bot. But hey, the score is 3-4, not nearly as one-sided as we saw in game number 1. And as you said, Diana, so far it's been hit or miss with that teleport. Using an Ahri though to keep those teleports at bay, definitely something you can see. Talking about Ahri, she's in this bot lane looking for her double kill, and she's going to be able to grab it.
Barely getting out by the skin of their teeth, and now they're going to take this bottom second turret. I don't think Rocket League can do too much, but with Diana coming up from the side, we could be seeing some deaths. Yeah,
Dupley's going to get out of dodge. Was that the flash there from Siriku as well? But it's not going to matter as Raider's able to catch up. Easy peasy, and that's going to be the retreat here from AT. But Ahri, she's going to go home very happy after that double kill. Gets herself an Abyssal Scepter, so a little bit more of an old school Ahri in this round.
Abyssal Scepter is going to help out penetration big for Karma, because she can't really do too much without actually building up. Well, she's actually building up 80 more than AP, so there you go with that. And Lure Boy could be in some trouble.
The repel going for max duration does not get hit by the end shots there from the Transcendent Blade. So good job using that repel for life-saving purposes. Now we have to be careful. Raider Law is going to come up here, and we do not have the stuff ready to go for Rarely. Oh, Rarely's going to go for the tower, but now she's in a bad spot. Equilibrium strike out to Raider and Blade Surge, but it will not matter. That Moonfall, too powerful.
Best CC in the game where you can't actually do anything to actually CC out of it. I mean, there's no anti-CC to that Moonfall, so very, very smart little play from the Raider Lol. Gonna go back into mid lane, still has a 50% health turret as well. I mean, these roams over top lane is gonna be very detrimental for the team of Invictus, and this is a little bit troublesome coming into the mid-game status of this game.
Well, overall, we've been playing a much more solid early game here from Green Fox. It's not snowballing at all, really, in anybody's favor. Sure, we still about 3k up for Invictus. 1 kill difference, the creep difference, as well as the tower. But, hey, it's been worse. It has been worse.
And it's really interesting to see that, well, Green Fox, they've actually responded pretty well, even though they had that early invasion yet again. And they unfortunately did not get any kills from that. It really shows to the team that, like, well, they did this play, they're trying to do it again, we can respond a little bit better. And I really respect Green Fox for that because, well, they responded to the call that Invictus was actually going to do.
They're looking for the kill on top of Lureboy once again. There goes the repel. He's going to try to avoid as much damage as he can. Don't think he's going to be lucky enough to get out of it this round. But because they see Bro top, we got those pings down at Dragon. J4 going to be starting up the party there. In comes Diana as well. Bot lane actually back in town after a shopping spree. So this is going to be a trade for a top kill into a Dragon. And now that we know that Dragon's going on, Bro is going to go take out the blue.
I mean, that's going to be a really good take for the team of Invictus in the sense that, yes, you get control again, and Diana can't use that blue buff to her advantage. But Invictus does fall out in a little bit of a gold lead. Only 2k up right now, but still a really, really good job by Invictus getting the kills over in top lane and making sure this Karma can actually get to that late game status. Once you have a Karma with enough shieldage or enough health, she'll be able to heal back everybody, and she'll have enough health to tank through. And that's just the two things Karmas can never get to. If you can get to the tank part, where the critical mass point, where literally Karma just can tank through turret shots as well, it's not going to be a good day for the team of Green Fox.
If you're able to load a slow up onto Kodrianu there, could have been a very dead Nunu, but yeah, my hotkey failed me there. Mid lane is going to go down to this continued pressure. Red and blue on Karma. It's a bit of a scary thing. Elite's going to be throwing out her suicide bomber at the same time. Bot lane is now pushed in as well, so pressure begets more pressure. As look at this, Kudos dropping extremely low. Here comes Rock Leech just trying to chase them off. Rarely, however, is going to eat an ace for, I guess, detrimental purposes. I might as well use it before you go down, Kudos. I can't see any other reason to use it.
I think, well, Rarely was going to actually start engaging, but here we go with the actual engage. Raider Law coming up from the side.
Yeah, Raider Law backed up here by Rockley and Kodriana. Could be a bit of a different situation, but Rarely is so big with that wild growth. The absolute zero, not really taking off any damage thanks to that Wit's End. Almost called it a Last Whisper. Yeah, but the Wit's End magic resist, denying a lot of that. And now still pressure going in. Rarely with the Equilibrium Strike and the Blade Surge yet again able to take that. So down goes the Nunu. The push, the push, the push. Auri able to take down the Spider as well in the jungle. So across the board, AT making big plays right there. And they're going to be taking themselves 4 towers up, 9-5, and 6,000 gold.
It was unfortunate Raider Law didn't actually have a blue buff. Probably would have secured that kill onto Lulu. But on top of that, that was a very interesting start to engage, especially with Caitlyn just coming back from buy-in. You really need DPS on top of the assassination of the Diana, which would have really worked out well. Unfortunately, Green Fox went in a little bit early, Invictus made them pay, and Invictus comes out a little bit ahead yet again.
So it's a very... in fact, it's the identical build from last round, really going for both the Ninja Tabby as well as the Wit's End. So he's beefed up his armor, beefed up his magic resist, and the Wit's End just complementing her fast attack style so very well. Rock Lee coming into here to the mid. Raider Law still doing up a little bit of farming. In terms of the farm, it has gone more towards Ari. She's up 412 and about 30 creeps compared to the 311. Let's take a quick look at the gold differential. Yeah, it's about 1,300 between the two of them. Could be worse, though. I mean, check out top lane, 4K to the 5,600 of Irelia. 2 kills to 2 deaths would do that for you.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. And now Server in a little bit of trouble, but it's kind of baiting it out because Wims is going to be used online. Nico's now on the travel zone. We're going to try to see catch up Nunu while we do see a kill from Raider Law.
Yeah, Raider Law actually going to be able to grab that one. The Bro is down, so 2 simultaneous fights. Nothing going to happen bottom in terms of the kills, but the death of Bro is going to set him back a little bit. That's his first death now, 115. Boots and Mobility, Madreds, Malady, and the Double Dagger. Is that going into Nashers? Or is that Stinger?
Yeah, it's going to be Stinger. Could go into either a Nashers 2, which would probably be a better choice, or a Zephyr, which is an interesting choice that they can actually go through that.
What kind of CC do we actually have other than just Elise and Raider, though?
And G4 knockup, that's it. Pretty much nothing really coming out from there.
Do Merc Treads... Well, does Tenacity actually help on knockups? It's not listed.
Not really.
Right.
You're still in the same duration no matter what. So it's probably going to be Nashor too, like you're inclining to. Okay. The biggest thing is Karma's not really building on health, and that's really interesting. Like, I want to see the Karma actually do something with that, but we're going to see the catches, and we'll see Rarely try to take down Lure Boy. Man, that was like a really good bait right there. The Transcendent Blades and the Ignite not going to be able to grab the kill. Lure Boy has himself that Haunting Guise as well as the Doran's Ring, so that little bit of extra hit points proving very valuable in that fight as she did not go down. Now we do got this 4-man push bottom lane as well. AT has to deal with this right now. It's just Varus, but if Varus stays, he could go down. The Crescent Strike will land into the Moonfall. That's a very, very dead Varus. Meanwhile, Invictus is going to be able to push up the second middle turret, but they trade off for 1 turret over here. Could they actually get this top turret as well? The only reason why Rarely laid off over at the top lane kill was because there was a teleport and the teleport went bottom instead of top. Rarely, usually getting ganked on it, but the Diana was just backing off just because of that reason. Otherwise, Rarely should have been able to get that kill onto the Elise. Well, did Rarely have flash? She does have flash. Was it up, though? I don't know. Demacian Standard into the bush is going to be finding out this combo as Bro once again. That's not Bro. There you go. Bro takes the blue. And that's, what, 3 consecutive blues now denied out to Diana. Like, the first one went to J4. I don't think we've seen a single one go to Diana. It's a big thing to have control of your jungle. If you can't control it, it's going to lose you a lot of extra positional battles, especially with blue and red buff. But on top of that, you're just not going to have enough control, especially with where the towers are right now for the team of Invictus versus Green Fox. I mean, Green Fox has no control. There's nothing they can really do, especially with all tier 1 turrets down. Pretty much all tier 2 turrets about to be going down as well. There's just so much warding that is not going to be enough for Green Fox to actually catch up. Well, good news for Green Fox. They got two dragons under their belt now, so that's going to help them close this gold gap a little bit. 4,000, almost 5,000 difference. Could be a little bit too far overextended there. Dupley does get out the shield, goes out the Foxfire, but she did eat a little bit of damage. Either way, it does look like they are going to be backing off. Rayler's still split pushing like a boss to this top lane. Everyone did go into the dragon, so she's pretty much uncontested. And in terms of the farm, she's actually ballooned up to 40 creep difference from last time we checked 7. Oh, they're going to go for this dive. Rarely is going to go. They're just going to push up onto this turret instead. Somebody in the chat was mentioning before, shield comp. You have that with the Lulu and the Karma. It's very pretty interesting decision to do that for the team comp, but it's a really good decision because you have so much dive potential, especially with Karma. Just the shield alone on top of the Lulu ult that you can bring out so much massive CC and on top of that massive damage. So I'm liking the idea Victus is doing, and they've been executing it pretty well. Yeah, Wild Growth, the shield from Whimsy, the shield from Karma. I'm pretty sure that's about it though. You can't really add too much more to that. Barrier, I guess, on Nico, but it's kind of self-barrier. Imagine you could put barrier on teammates. I mean, you have Iron Lock salary for that same reason
True
too,
enough.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, having a summoner spell to do that, that would be, I would say, more broken than anything because that'd be more baiting, if anything, as well.
And there's that Nashor's Tooth that we were talking about. Karma is going to be coming back as a monster. It's not completing up that Wriggles. I think she did this with Volibear as well. She just kept the Madreds just for simply helping out with the farm.
I think that's pretty much a lot of junglers right now, especially if AP junglers. It's a lot faster to actually take out Madreds than it is to do the Spirit Stone. But Spirit Stone does give you that mana regen. If you're kind of dependent on that, then you keep up with that. But Madreds gives you more procs, gives you more damage and such like that, a little bit faster. Plus it gives you a little bit of armor. It'll help out a lot more in the long run.
Picking up a Trinity Force on top of the Wits Ends. You know, Aurelia's doing real good in terms of the cash. 7,500 to her counterpart at 5,700, and across everything, just up, 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 and up. But 71 to the 66, definitely lagging behind a little bit. This Elise at 022 and just over 100 creeps to her name. So in terms of the items, past the 20-minute mark, we're a little starving. On top of the Green Fox, they're not quite where they want to be. There's a few of them still under the 6,000 range, and you can see, we got a Glacial Shout on Elise, great, haunting guys, but she's really looking to finish that up into, what do you think, Glacial Fist?
Iceborne Gauntlets could be a thing, but even a Frozen Heart wouldn't that be that bad. Rarely caught out in a little bit of trouble. It's gonna have to flash away. Moonfall missing off, and everything just gonna be resetting yet again. Great little ward to make sure that they can catch on to Rarely for the Green Fox right over there. But I mean, it's just one flash and one Aurelia. Aurelia can do enough and give you so much more damage to the backline. So interesting little flash out to get there, but very, very good take from Green Fox.
They're wise to the tricks of the Rarely. Yeah, last time she did that, she was able to almost grab a tower out of it. It almost a kill on top of things. So yeah, with a nice ward there, it means no more jungle shenanigans, no more popping out of bushes like the Garen days of old. But 9 to 7, I mean, 24 minutes in, sure, lots of towers and lots of pushing, but the kill is actually not nearly as high as we've seen in the past.
I think it's just because there's no pressure really with a Karma on jungle. I mean, J4 has been doing so much counter pressure against this Karma that's been trying to go aggressive. Only seen Karma actually get one or two really good jungle ganks, so we'll see what Burbo King can do, especially with the Nashor's Tooth now on top of the Malady. Should be enough AP plus enough, damage output with attack speed going to be helping out for this.
If Rarely actually crits, she two-shots minions. That's how good she is right now. But blue buff finally going to go off to Diana. Congratulations, your first blue buff of the game at 25 minutes. Now they're going to head on home for a little bit of a victory celebration. At the same time, bottom lane has been pushing in. Caitlyn has been able to guard it out fairly well for now. And in terms of her item, she's almost up to that Phantom Dancer. So she's almost keeping up here with Nico. But look at the damage. Wow, that Moonfall coming in, however. That should be the double. And it is. A little bit of miscalculation right there from AT, but at the same time, mid lane's been pushing in as well. Can we have the same results from Green Fox?
I mean, Raider, if they can get a good catch, yes, there's Rock Lee coming in with that, the Monster Standard. Damage coming out, but Dupley going to be able to get out of there just barely. Now we do see Rarely going to be chased on by Raider Law.
Yeah, Raider Law gets off the Crescent into the Moonfall. Does have red and blue. Rarely is just going to throw out the Transcendent Blades, clear out the creep wave, heal up a little bit, and also try to make sure that she doesn't get chased out. But here goes the Flash and the Demacia coming out from Rock Lee. Rarely's now in a little bit of a tight situation. It did get off an exhaust, and now she's in the middle of that Nunu ult, and down she goes. That's going to be, I think, the third death now for her. A little bit too much split pushing, not enough grouping up, and I got to say, finding these opportunities for Green Fox should be helping out their mentality a good bit.
Yeah, then also Green Fox could be winning out this game a little bit. I mean, yeah, they're defending off on the inhibitor turret right now, but Invictus, they're just kind of playing to their hand. They're just going super aggressive. They're splitting up 2-2-1, and each and every time J4 has made them pay, Diana's made them pay, and it's been really working out for Green Fox right now. So Invictus kind of has to worry about this, and especially with all the control that they have, they should be able to do a little bit more as a team more than just a pick-off comp.
Well, I'm a little afraid of that Diana as well for AT. 7-1-2 has been part of the 9 of the 10 kills, so she is rolling in the money. Richest member for their team. Actually, as I say that, I'm looking at the creeps now. Caitlin's actually edging her out just a little bit. 7-1-2 to the 1-2-3 of Caitlin. But either way, I mean, we are now packing some pretty serious muscle for Green Fox, and it's not nearly the snowball game that AT kind of wanted.
Which is unfortunate because, yeah, especially with the karma, especially with what you have with, I mean, Ari. Mid game is where you wanted to control it, and when you don't have that control of the mid game, although they do have it with the towers, I mean, it's not going to be so well thought out. And when I was saying that the game was going really well for Invictus, yeah, it was, but the only thing was Bro King and all the rest were kind of just getting themselves killed by this Diana each and every time, and now Diana's a really big threat. But on top of that, Caitlyn now, especially getting that last little kill steal, is going to be able to get more of a threat. So you're going to try to build MR for this Diana because that's what's being shown, but the Caitlyn's really sneaking behind as a really big sleeper damage DPS.
Yeah, she has herself the Bloodthirster and now the Phantom Dancer to boot, Home Guard as well, and you know, with all the pressure onto the base, it's basically been pretty safe farming. But no, the Baron bait could be a little bit too strong here from Kodrianu. Rock Lee now going to be dropping down as well. He's going to get off that Demacia, but down he goes. We had absolutely no vision whatsoever of that Baron who going to go do it. A nice trap there set by 18. Now with Garen out of the picture, especially with his Demacia ult down as well, this could be a potentially big push for AT.
They did ping off over in the top inhibitor. They're going to try to push this all the way down. Although the minion wave is going to be pretty minuscule, like they're going to have only one, it's not going to be enough. So they're going to have to wait for this next minion wave. Will it be enough time for Rock Lee to come back into this? Don't know, but they're taking a lot of tower shots. They should be backing up from this one just because of how much early damage they took.
Man, just the wave clear is so insane from Green Fox right now. Like a Crescent Sweep, Crescent Strike and a Piltover, and then whoever's left over, Kodrianu just eats for breakfast. I mean, they are able to clear that extremely quick. But I also want to call attention here to the top jungle. We have no less than 3 wards from AT, plus the vision at the Baron. So they could easily set up for the Baron, which they might actually need this round, considering it's how close this game is actually drawing out to.
Yeah, I mean, AT is in a really interesting position. I mean, they're in the lead, they have enough gold, but they can't push. They can't do anything to the team, and especially if they engage 5v5, if they can't protect their carries, especially Varus and Ari, then, well, Raiders just going to go smash face and just go, well, ham all over them. So that's going to be a problem for them. Having that extra health regen, having that extra vision, especially in the top side of the jungle, is going to be key to actually winning out this game.
So Caitlyn is now actually matching, I think, almost, there's a longsword difference between the two AD carries. 8,900 to the 96. We've actually overtaken Varus in terms of gold now because of all this passive farming going down. So we had an attempted blue steal, Rock Lee able to grab it, and now they should be able to clear out at least that award. So maybe a Baron not going to be in the cards now for AT, as they have kind of been compromised in their vision. Why would they throw down another one?
And they just need that vision just to be able to actually secure things. They're going to start this engage, try to go on Lure Boy.
Yeah, they're going to try, but unfortunately it's going to be the Demacia ult going to putting them up, but there's no Diana here to help out, and down goes Jarvan, virtually unsupported by his team. Elise is the quick second as well. Kodrianu is going to be dropping as well. Suruku going to be taking that one, and now I don't know what happened to Diana, but the big powerhouse, she was not there, and now their air should be the first ace of the game, as those towers are virtually non-existent in the eyes of AT.
I think this is going to be the first inhibitor, probably even the second one, if they can tank it up really well. Or they could go for the win. They are pinging out for the Nexus turret. They do have about 10 seconds until Rock Lee is back up, but they're actually going to take at least one of these Nexus turrets down, maybe even 2.
They might actually be able to end the game right now. We got the GG well played coming out. The towers are melting like butter. Here comes Jarvan. He does not have that ult up, but he's going to be putting up the best that he can. But still, he has to go for Nico because Nico's just chunking down that tower. Another standard, and he's going to get away with virtually no life. Kodriana now in here as well, and I think they might have actually been able to keep themselves in the game just that much longer. Bro's going to go down to Lure Boy with that combo. A nice ensnare coming out. The Ice Ball as well. Kodriana with the Blood Boil on top of the Spider. Double kill coming out for her. and this is probably the most that we've actually had to suffer from AT. We got a teleport coming in as well. A great charm landing on top of Raider right there, but can Dupley actually get away out of this one? She's going to aggro the Baron. Should be able to Spirit Fire right over that, but that's going to start the Baron, and we're going to go straight for it here from the Green Fox.
Rarely is the only one that could go for the steal for the Baron. Yes, it was a good play by Invictus. I don't think they should have stayed over, and the Baron's going to be easily taken, hopefully for the team of, the Green Fox barely just take that, and we are going to see Rarely just back away. That was a more interesting Baron just because Rocket League used the Smite onto the blue buff early on and did not have Smite up until about that end of the moment.
Well, as you can see, does not matter in the end. Three team members of AT down, and Dupley had already used her ult. That left only Rarely there for the counter Baron, but unfortunately 5-on-1 just was not confident that she could get it. And now this could be, very huge for Green Fox. If they can't do anything with this Baron, then unfortunately that's probably just going to be game. But the possibility for a comeback is still there.
I mean, Invictus, they had to pick off another time. I mean, it was really great that they zoned out the Diana. I mean, they needed to zone out the big damage dealer, and that was Diana. So, very smart low play right there. But the bigger thing was, Invictus just got onto the damage dealers, and it's really important for Invictus to do that. While in Green Fox this time, they really need to just defend. I mean, that's the only thing they can do with this Baron buff. There's no other way that they can do anything else.
Tower going to be hit down a little bit, but there goes the Moonfall into Nico. We did get the chain shot out as well, but the damage just not there. This could be devastating. The Lure Boy going to be coming in as well, and down goes Varus to the 4, even 5-man pressure, but that means we got pings down into the mid. Dupley and Rarely able to take down the mid with the help of Suku, and now with that, they're going to be retreating through the Super Creep. So if we force a fight in the Super Creeps, we might actually be able to win this one out. Kudo goes down. There's the Demacia ult. Dupley in there with the Zonias, does pop it out. Spirit fires away to safety. Siraku in there as well with the Wild Growth on top of Rarely, as we do get the kill on top of Diana. Now Rarely's going toe-to-toe with the Lure Boy. Rockley's still in there looking for the kill on top of Dupley, but another shield comes out, denies him that one. Lulu's still in here. Rarely's still in here. I don't know how Dupley is still alive, but it does look like kills for AT, as 4 of them are down, almost 5 with Lure Boy now stuck in the fountain, and that should be the GG.
Yeah, Rarely going to be taken apart. Lure Boy going to be able to pick that one up, but it's not going to be enough. Oh, is Dupley going to go down right over here? Lure Boy is going to be doing his best impression of Mad Life right now, holding up onto this, and unfortunately Lure Boy, he has to get out of there. He's going to be taken away from turrets. Surkai, can you keep the kill? No, he will not, but he's going to keep the aggression onto the Nexus.
Wow, what powerful plays come out from the Spider. Now here comes Kudos with those home guards, looking for the kill on top of Siraku, but not going to be able to grab it. This mid inhibitor could be going down. Bottom has already now been pushed in by the creeps, and Lulu will be able to finish it off for a 3 inhibitor finish. Now, if you weren't confined to base before, there's definitely no way you can get out of it now, as super minions are going to be knocking on your door for the next little bit here, Green Fox.
Double super minions, no Nexus towers. This is probably going to be the end of the game. Invictus, all they have to do is heal up, group up, and take away anything that they can with buffs and anything like that. Nico's taking a blue buff, not surprisingly over there. And yeah, the damages, the items are going to be built out. We'll see what will happen for this last few minutes.
Yeah, these last few minutes, 35 minutes in, 18-19, and 7,000 gold lead once again developed here for AT Invictus. 11,000 to 11,000. Tavares actually caught up. Still a little bit of a lead here in terms of the gold for Dupley versus Raider. But yeah, other than that, top lane 2K difference, 3,000 for the junglers, and pretty close to the 2K mark for our support. So you can see that it's pretty evenly distributed across the different champions who has the what cash, but in every case, AT has now taken the gold lead.
Oh, this is the fight I wanted to see. Brobo King versus Kudos. What will Karma do? And now Karma's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, is going to have to flash on out of that one, but does go down. Rockley using the ultimate for Flare, but it was Diana actually picking up that kill. Dupley now still top lane. The inhibitor has respawned, and it was a short and sweet life.
Yeah, unfortunate because they did spend so much over that bottom lane karma just taken away from there. And now all the super minions coming into the base. Varus could go for this backdoor. Unfortunately, Green Fox, I think this is all she wrote for today.
Could be. They're giving it their all, though. Still doing some pretty amazing defenses. I think I just saw a smite go off on the top of a minion, but Raider going to get caught out there by the chain shot. Rock Lee does not have the Demacia ready to go. It looks like he will be able to get out of that one, though. Lure Boy up against Dupli, still going for with with that repel, but Zonias is going to shut her down. Here comes Rock Lee now looking for the kill. Did we disconnect?
It looks like it because my timing just like went off.
Oh, well, I think we know who's going to get this game. But 37 minutes, 23-19, a nice set of kills there at the end. 4 for 1 as Bro has, I guess, respawned. But, if the game crashed, I don't think it's actually going to matter. Looking at the situation that Green Fox is in, one teammate up and super minions banging on the Nexus, I think we can safely say now, Mr. Bird, GG well played, as Invictus is going to be your Alienware EU Winter 2012 champions.
Congratulations to Invictus, doing a great job. Overall, just showing up today and making sure they can keep their wins by, well, doing some really great plays.
I wonder if we can do like a Harlem Shake thing. I
Oh,
don't
God.
see anyone shaking, though.
Oh, God.
It's just like we zoom in on a minion, and then you just zoom out, and everyone's banging on the inhibitor. Just like, blah, 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 or whatever the music is. Did you see the Riot Games Harlem Shake?
Yeah, I was just talking about that in chat before we started the second game. I was like, wow, that's a pretty good video. I knew they were talking about it. I didn't think they were actually go through with it. Very nice of them.
All right, well, I'm going to call that game, ladies and gentlemen. I don't see us reconnecting anytime soon, but congratulations once again. AT Invictus sweeping it 2-0 against the Green Fox. Thanks for watching, esports fans. If you want to see more video game commentary, make sure to hit the subscribe button and check out these other commentaries.